We're live.
Live at, was it 8?
We're
Live at 8.
live.
Oh, look at that. That's crazy.
Live at, was it 8? Live at 8.
Even feels
Oh, look
weird.
at that. That's crazy. Live at, was it 8?
Even feels weird.
Oh, look at that.
Is it coming from you or me? Now I can't hear you at all. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
Oh,
No, I
it's
can't
good
hear.
now.
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, we must be getting audio from
Oh,
either
now.
PC.
Well, can you hear me? We
One of
must
your
be getting
tabs.
audio from either the PC
Maybe mute your Facebook tab, like just up top on the I forgot you're on a Mac. What?
You're on a Mac.
This is so on brand for us. I love it.
It is. Welcome back. Okay.
This is so on brand for us. I love it.
Right. Put yourself on mute for 1 second. Okay, so is it still happening? Okay, so this is me then. So hold on. I'm gonna put myself on mute. All right, hello. All right, come on back. All right, hello. Oh, no, I can still hear it.
Hello. Oh,
Come
yeah,
on
you're
back. Where am I hearing it from? Oh, no, I can still hear it.
Hello? Oh, yeah, you're still on the.
Where am I hearing it from?
Oh, no, I can still hear it. Hello? Oh, yeah, you're still.
I feel like I'm in the multiverse of madness.
Okay, there we go. You were right. So I want to point out, first of all, welcome back. It is so awesome to see you. And you were correct. I did in fact have another window tab open and it was playing on there. So 10 points for Brendan. This is why I hang out with people who are smarter than I am on Saturday nights and most nights. So you look fantastic.
Thank you. You too, man.
Oh
You
my
look good.
goodness, your face.
You got that glow up.
Well, that's the multiple lights, but thank you for that. It is just so awesome to see your face, and I'm so excited to be here tonight. And yeah, it is it's Saturday night.
Yeah, it's been what? When was our last show? It was like,
it would have been in June.
Was it in June? Sheesh.
Yeah, and we had such a busy summer, and it was quite awesome. It was a little bit tired. I was a little tired, I can't lie. And I'm still a little tired from it. And oh, look at all the folks who are joining us. Look at that. There, and Darlene and Pat, Paul. Hey, Nathan, Corey's there, Lana's there. Goodness gracious, that's awesome. It is fantastic. So we apologize for the technical difficulties, but for those of you who haven't watched the show before, that's standard for the case. It is not uncommon that we're starting at 7:08 Eastern time instead.
I was even thinking too earlier today. I was like, it would be so funny if we just happened to not start on time.
Well, yes, and
we're only a couple minutes off, but
totally. And I'm never stressed by such things.
No,
I'm super stoked for tonight. I'm super stoked that we're here together. It is. It is again that we're.
Oh, that's from the iPad now.
It is, yeah. So swipe left to reveal comments. There we go. Charlotte is here. Is this what I need for? Nathan asks, is this what I need for the 7 p.m. Eastern prizes giveaway? Nathan, so we're going to give away some prizes tonight.
Let's go.
And we worked on a project this summer called Listen Up for Pathways Canada, and it was absolutely awesome. And so this evening we're going to give away a couple things. We're going to give away Actually, young people get to pick, the winners are gonna get to pick what they get. They're either
Oh,
gonna
that's always the best.
get
Sheesh.
yes, I think that's upside down.
I was picturing like a book or something,
No,
like a
so
nice T-shirt.
Tab S6 Lite, or they can choose a, is that upside down as well? It is. An Oculus. It's just.
Oh, the Quest 2, that's
college.
deadly.
Yeah, and a way to acknowledge our appreciation for their contributions. But before we get there, and Nathan says, yeah, I remember it. It was fun. It was fun. Iana, Louis is watching. And Paul
Hey.
says, time is irrelevant. You're here, and that's all that counts.
Exactly.
Exactly. Carol's watching. She says, good to see you. Charlotte's there. Pat says, great to be here. Hi to you, Darlene. Corey says, hi, guys. Lana says, oh my God, two of my favorite handsome men. I've missed my Saturday night date night. Hugs. Yeah, it is fun. And it's, we've had a great time on this show. And I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad to see your face. Like, so we started to come walk with us in 2020 to talk about stuff, because we have to talk about things in this world.
That's still crazy to me.
It's how we get healthy. It's how we get healthier. It's how we stay connected. And so here's the truth. I think the summer off logistically made sense, because we were away every other weekend doing events this summer.
Yeah, literally both of us were working every weekend.
Exactly. So logistically it made sense, but we have to find a way to never do that again. Because I absolutely missed you so terribly. And I missed our friends who come and hang out with us on Saturday nights. I missed talking to people who we didn't know before. I missed talking to people who we do know and love. And it's literally, I'm just so grateful to be here with you tonight. Like, absolutely. So.
Oh, likewise, man. It's like, it's just, it's good medicine, man. It's a lot of good medicine. And like, it's just, I missed out a lot on it this summer for sure. But
tell me, what's 3 highlights of your summer?
Or 3 highlights.
Summer and early fall.
Well, I mean, like most recently, just Piper turned 7 last week there. That was really fun, just getting to see what she got from like her different parties, and bringing her my parents' house, and she got to see like Giju and like her she just calls them her cousins and stuff, and her family there. So it was good to see everybody. It's just, that's one thing, is I've been getting out. Like this summer I got out of the house so much more, and like I went and like I actually just was social a lot more. And so just like getting to go to all the not all, but like getting to go to like some birthday parties and just like dinners, and just like spending time with the family all the time. And it's so like, it's so nice and so good. And then like even just like 2 of my homies, shout out to Ethan Estis, TKO Poppy, he streams. But like I just hung out with them last weekend. We got together and just watched the new like Game of Thrones, and just like caught up about just basically like everything that's happened like in like past like year and a half, whatever, like 2 years. And like a lot of stuff's happened, so like it was cool to catch up and just like do that. Like I haven't done that in forever, so it was really cool. Like that's the biggest highlight for me, was just like reconnecting with my roots, really. But then on top of that was like the work. It's like focusing more on work, and having to, because like events coming up, and it's summer, all the events roll out and everything. And but like being back in the field, and like like working with like people like youth and stuff, and like I forgot how much I miss that, and how much like I love that, and how much it like feeds me, like. And just it was like it was really cool. It was just so nice to be like back in the field and not have to worry as much about like COVID, and just like all that good stuff comes with working with elders and community, and even working with allies and trying to bridge those gaps and stuff, all that good stuff. And then 3, I don't even know. I played so much more video games this summer that just I revisited old video games. Like I did a whole new playthrough of these older games like Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, Elder Scrolls Skyrim, all these really, Red Dead Redemption 2, the kind of game where you just you skip poker playing with people to play poker with non-playable characters, and so
Yeah.
but I loved it. It's good. It was something that I wasn't really, my Xbox and PlayStation both collected dust for ever, and because I've been on my PC, I just been not really, when you're tired, you lose interest in other things, right? Like your passion. So
Yeah.
and this has nothing to do with stopping the podcast. It's just the summer and work and everything in culmination, right? But yeah, just I don't know, I guess just overall getting healthier.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What about you?
Lana asks, so let's just quickly, I just want to check here. Let's see here. There's lots of chat tonight. Grandma Kate, lots of people are saying hi to Grandma Kate because Kimmy, Kate, and Diane are watching. And in fact, we're gonna have Kimmy and Ash join us a little bit later. Jean is watching from Chaging First Nation. Hello, Jean. And Nathan says about the summer, he says, being at the group we did, seeing my friends and getting new games and swimming. He says same on YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, that's what he's on. Grandma Kate says hello to folks. Nathan says hi, Grandma Kate. Corey, Brennan, Lana asks, Brennan, have you been watching House of the Dragon?
Yeah, so that's actually really funny. I haven't been watching it, but I went over to my homie's house there and we got together to watch episode 8. We watched the episode before and then watched that one. But that was my first time getting into the show. I only started the first episode. So I'm yeah, they were like, what are you doing? You haven't seen it. I was like, oh, it's whatever. It's like Game of Thrones. I know what's going on, kind of. But I mean, oh my God, it was that episode though. It was crazy. I was losing my mind. Yeah, it was crazy.
Paul says, I agree. It's so important to gather. He was talking about the fact when you were talking about getting out and stuff. He says, I'm still struggling with becoming an introvert because of COVID, but it's nice to see friends here. And it really is, Paul. And that's the beauty of this show, right? It's we get to connect and hang out and yeah. Nathan says Xbox One gang and PC gang and PS gang. I'm a YouTuber.
So,
and Ash says they're here.
That's so cool.
So do you think Caitlin would mind? She shared a post that you shared on your page, or it's on your page, that do you think she'd mind if I shared a post about you?
No, not at all.
You don't think she'll mind? Okay.
No.
So
Which one?
You talked about Piper, right, in her birthday, and as one of the highlights, and this
that's crazy, eh?
This is why I love Brennan Gugu right here. So
7 years ago, bro.
There wasn't even a second thought to picking Bren to be Piper's godfather. Now, I think there was a typo here. As soon as I found out I was having her, I think is what that was supposed to say.
Yeah.
I knew. So I'm thinking that she picked him too, out of everyone, without hesitation. And I'm glad she did. And oh my gosh, look at little Brennan there and little Piper. And this is reason 737. I just love you, is that the care and love that you provide to your people is, yeah, it is.
So it all comes back around, right?
It does.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I was given when I was a kid, so I got to give it back out, and then it'll come back when you're older.
Exactly. I wanted to share a couple of highlights here. Charlotte says, when is Brennan coming to Kingston? There's $1 million question.
Ooh, hopefully soon.
Or when is Peter going to Halifax? Oh, that's right. Peter keeps sending.
Also, hopefully soon.
Peter keeps sending Brennan messages saying, "Hey, can we meet?"
Yeah, this is true.
So it's all right. We'll wait patiently. When the time is right,
Yeah.
we'll be right. And so I just want to share a couple of things that I really dug this summer, like experiences that were cool for me. And so this is one of them right here. I'm going to share this here. This is, where is it? As everyone knows, I had the privilege of being a grandpa, and going on vacation with this little guy and getting to spend good quality time with him and the rest of my family was just such a delight. And family vacations there's challenges, right? There's like logistic stuff. It's a lot of work. A lot of people. You guys go down in groups to Disney, right?
Oh yeah, it's so stressful.
And but moments like this, and then there were moments like this one here. We were so blessed to have Grandma Kate join us, and to
Rock
see
gang, let's
her
go.
just like rock star right there, and
It's awesome.
to watch
It's
her
a sweet picture.
relax, because as you know, Grandma Kate goes 900 miles an hour,
Mhm.
20 hours a day. It's just she gives and gives and gives, and I loved watching her give to herself. That was a delight. And then the reality is that regardless of any of the challenges that happen in any vacation with any family, like this was just a highlight.
So awesome.
Like I will live with this memory of this moment for the rest of my life. I just feel grateful. And
Look at little Everett.
yeah, in his little suit.
Big chubby.
It's so yeah, it is absolutely those were the highlights, right? And working on Listen Up, like if as you know, we like to do projects in the summer, and
Yes, did a lot of work this summer.
yeah,
You guys doing a lot of cool stuff.
Paul says, and Georgia Ward is watching. Georgia, one of my favorite artists of all time, who has made so many of the pieces that I wear, and I'm so grateful that she lives in Kingston.
Nice.
Paul says, when you go to
Nice.
Halifax, you have to try a croissant from two by the sea, if by sea in Dartmouth. Does that sound familiar?
It does sound familiar.
Yeah. Okay, it's a date, and maybe we'll bring one back as well. Today's an interesting day. We're celebrating here today because we're back on the air. But today was a significant day here in Cataraqui or Kingston. A couple of 2 weeks ago, one of our matriarchs started her journey to the star world, to the spirit world, and so it was a celebration of life. The family hosted today for Laurel Ba and Laurel Claus Johnson, and so after she passed, at the house, the family house, they held they lit a sacred fire 4 days and nights, and hundreds of people stopped by the house and to pay their respects and to reflect and to offer medicine to that fire. And then today, hundreds of people came today throughout the day. It was held at City Hall in Memorial Hall, and it's beautiful.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it really was a celebration. And my takeaway is and it doesn't matter if it's not only because if you're a matriarch or you've got a large family, or the ripples we have and how we affect people, we often don't know or understand when we're in this world of the effect we have on people. And so I had asked the family, and so I just wanted to share a short little tribute and memories of mine. And you're going to see a lot of faces that starts back a number of years, when in fact several of the faces you'll see are folks who work for Three Things now who didn't at the time because they were like 14. And so this is just our way of honoring Laurel, who did so much for us at Three Things, provided guidance and advice and love and challenge, because she pushed us, right, to think beyond how we normally would think. And you met Laurel as well in your time here in Kingston. And
Oh man, she treated me like a grandkid. I
yeah,
love her so much.
exactly. And so this is a where did it go? So this is just a small little reflection on the significance that she carried in our community and our family, in our lives. But I also just want to specifically say is that I really think about the family at this point in time. The reality is that it is when people pass into the spirit world, it's easy for us to be consumed with our own processing of it. And but I'm keeping her family, her boys, her children, daughters, her children, her grandchildren, nieces and nephews in my thoughts. Because although today was this beautiful celebration, it was different for them, right? Obviously. And so I keep them in my thoughts and prayers, and I ask us all to do that. Paul says she did so much with the city. She ensured the community was recognized, and without a doubt. So here's just some reflections of our time at Three Things with Laurel Bob over the years. This. Oh goodness, all of those adventures and shared moments, and so really thinking about her family tonight, and just my heart is filled with gratitude for all she shared with us.
Yeah, man, so much good medicine came from that.
And what's really exciting too is that, well, first of all, my phone just did that. I didn't do any of that. But it's the number of people
Oh, that's cool.
in those photos who are either watching tonight already, right? Like it just speaks to community, right? Like
there's a lot of young faces there.
A lot of young faces.
Yeah.
Neil Ross in that first shot, who was our storyteller on Listen Up. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was.
It was so nice seeing that big photo of just her at the cake and everyone around her.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, so we couldn't restart tonight without acknowledging the contributions she made. to this city, to the community, to the Indigenous community particularly. Her house was and will always remain, I think. I said a couple of weeks ago, I was thinking about it, and it's like the band office, really. Like it was, everybody was there, right? Everybody was there, and yeah,
I know, I remember you taking me over there to visit, and just with Kimmy D, and there's always people there, always people like having tea or just talking or chilling or
yeah.
yeah.
And
She
we
was so welcoming to everyone too.
Oh, without a doubt. And she loved you and kept asking, when are you coming back? And in fact, she said, when is he coming home? And
Cool.
so, and our thoughts go out to Quana, one of our facilitators.
Mhm.
That's his grandma. And we are blessed to have Quana and Wata and Sheldon and siblings in our lives. And so, yeah. So as we move forward tonight, it was a celebration today, and I'll continue to celebrate the role that and the significance that she had in our lives. So thank you for that. Thank you. So I think there's a couple folks watching, and I think they're going to tune in. I think they're going to log in. I think that is, I think I saw Tracy here, and I think I saw, or who else was there? Maybe Tracy wasn't there. I think Tracy's logging in. I know Darlene is going to log in. So if you are going to join us, Darlene, it would be a great time to do it. So this summer, like I said, we did this project called Listen Up. And so there are about 6,000 students in Pathways program.
Was that the same one you had Adam as one of your facilitators there? You guys did
Adam or
in Ottawa?
Andrew?
Or Andrew, sorry.
Oh, so yes. One of the other highlights, we had a team. So first of all, let's just talk.
You guys had a rock star team there.
Oh my God, it was phenomenal. So I'm not gonna, let's try to make sure I don't, like Nathan, do you figure, Nathan, it was a great great team that we had there. So working on Listen Up, we had first of all, we had obviously Simonic helping quarterback it.
The GOAT.
And pardon me, the GOAT.
I said the GOAT.
Totally the GOAT. And we were so excited to have Simonic back. And so after COVID, to come back to work, and as always, he did amazing stuff. And so we had Simonic. We had a team of facilitators along with Simonic, including Quana. We had a new addition to our team, a young woman named Talia from Quebec, who is kick-ass and just brilliant, and love working with her. In addition to Talia, we have Ayana, who was on this show previously. Ayana Louie, fantastic contribution, like beyond belief. We had Andrew, drives the common man. And I remember, and I said to Andrew more than once, I'm sure this summer, like I knew when I first saw that, one of those first videos of you on TikTok, I knew we had to work together in some way. And the first time we worked together was when we went up to Saskatchewan and then brought the Saskatchewan crew down. But working on Listen Up, he was, again, just outstanding. But here's a fun fact. Nobody knew him.
Really? That's cool.
It was nice and humbling. But until the last in-person gathering, and someone did know him and loved him, and it was awesome.
Well, I'm sure they all,
yeah.
I mean, they obviously know him now, but
yeah,
then, I mean, that just must have been so cool for him to be able to like connect with the youth on without that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and people should follow Nathan's advice, and Nathan says follow him, and totally find Drive and find Ayana as well.
He just dropped a new music video too.
Did it come out yet, Annie?
Or sorry,
yeah.
they're premiering it at Imaginative, right?
They are. They're premiering his new video at Imaginative next week, and for Annie, and it's so awesome. And so, anyways, we have Andrew, Talia, Quana, Simonic, and Ayana, right, as the facilitators. And then we also had Sean, who was doing tons of the logistics stuff and supporting the project overall in so many different ways. We had Noah Ross, who again was in that first shot of that video, there's the young people. He looks sort of sullen, like the little sullen kid in the car. But Noah first got connected with us through Pathways years ago. And
He's a musical genius, that guy.
and he's also a musical genius. So we had this team of artists, right? Iana, Noah, and Andrew. But we also brought in some special folks as well. We had Zoe Roy helped quarterback the first event, and she really helped birth what we're going to see tonight, the release of the music video for Every Child Matters, which was written and created by and shot. The video was shot by students, and we're going to play that in a few minutes. So that team, and then so we had Noah, we had Stoney McCart, who is like the I don't know, I think certainly the leading expert in youth engagement and visioning, has always been 10 years ahead of the times. So she joined us as well to help support Noah, to be a coach for Noah, who is the storyteller.
Cool.
So Noah was doing the reporting and with Stoney's support. And I'm certain, and then the last event we had Dave Forteau, an old friend of ours, who is an entrepreneur and dancer and choreographer and photographer and influencer. He joined us for the last event. And I'm feeling like we've had, and we had a number of special guests as well. But I'm just trying to think in my head. I don't want to miss anyone, of course, right? But the dream, it was a solid team. And of course, Jeff as well, doing a lot of admin stuff on it and helping.
Hero.
It was a pretty sort of powerful team. But the overall outcome is that we had over 300 engagements with students, which is just over 5% of Pathways students. And that included 216 students taking part in the digital interactive components. We had almost 50 students come to in-person events in Ottawa. We held 3 of them. We had adults come to Ottawa, which was amazing to support those students. We had 33 young people take part in these longer visiting and sharing sessions, like an interview, sort of like a conversation. And then we had virtual gatherings online. Interestingly enough, the virtual gatherings, I thought at the time were going to be like easy to fill, and they really weren't. I think young people particularly, I think, were zoomed out. But it was, it was really difficult to get folks in that room. But the beauty was that it was a smaller number, but it was way super powerful conversations. So I was really grateful for that. One of the cool things that came out of this, though, is that young people, so we hear and see, and we hear people talk about youth all the time, right? And it's often anchored in trash talk. Like, young people aren't this, young people aren't that, young people do this bad, blah, 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 blah. Young people this summer involved with Pathways to Education programs, one of the 30+ programs across the country. They contributed 2,219 hours to help strengthen the program that they really love.
That's wild.
And if you flip that over into dollars and cents, and based on like minimum wage, say, that's just under $35,000 contribution from young people to be able to help provide their voice and share their voice and their ideas around how to how do I join? Darlene says. Oh, Darlene, are you still there, Darlene? Let me just send Darlene this link just in case. I'm going to send Darlene the link just in case I didn't see that comment. But let's see here. So I'm going to come here.
While you're doing that, that was one thing I mentioned, even like this, like leading up to the end of the summer, was how difficult it was to get not only youth, but just people to engage people virtually, like outside of like meetings and stuff, obviously, but like even if you had incentives and stuff, it's like you said, people were just so zoomed out by the past 2 years of COVID. Like, people, nobody really wanted to do, even when people were virtual, it's so hard to keep people engaged and stuff, because everyone's just so dead. I don't blame them. I feel the same way anytime I'm in like stuff. So
Yeah, it is. So Darlene, I just sent you by text and email your the links there for you. So Darlene is going to join us. Darlene Lansley is a you're going to just wait for this because I hope we can get her on because she is absolutely brilliant. She is I think that her title is the program director at Pathways Saskatoon, which is housed out of the Saskatoon Tribal Council. And she traveled with, I think, about 7 or 8 students to the Listen Up event in June. And that event specifically was focused on Indigenous high school graduates. And we wanted to hear from them and listen to their stories and their experiences, both in Pathways and in the education system. And then on the Saturday night, we had a ceremony called the Ever Deadlies, where we those young people. And it was awesome. Quinn Bingham from Pathways Canada joined us. We had a traditional Indigenous feast that night. I think we had elk stew and wild rice, and it was just fantastic. Kimmy D spoke. A bunch of others came to share their thoughts, and it was just a beautiful night. And so Darlene has been a I'm going to go. I think there she is. Yeah. And so Darlene has been a advocate and change maker for decades, but not many decades, because I don't want to suggest that she's older than
like 2 max.
Yeah. All right. Can you hear us there, Darlene? Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
We can. Can you shut off your Facebook for a second?
Yeah.
We can. Can you shut off your Facebook for a second? I say that like I didn't do it for 6 minutes at the beginning of the show. Excellent. How are you doing, pal? Excellent. How are you doing, pal? Oh, we can still hear it.
Is that on me?
That's you, yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
Brennan helped me the last time, so I'll let Brennan do that.
What is it, an iPad? How do you get it so it's like the app? It's like you close apps?
Pardon me?
How do you get it so it's like the app? I don't know how to work do you know how to close apps on an iPad? Is that what you're on?
I'm not on an iPad. I'm on my computer.
Oh, okay, go to the top, and if you see like the different tabs, and if there's no tabs, then press the little minus button to minimize it. This one, the zoom one. Press the little minus button to minimize it. And then once that minimized, see if you can close Facebook if there's any Facebook tab open. Minimize. See if you can close Facebook if there's any Facebook tab open. Minimize. See if you can close Facebook if there's any Facebook tab open. Minimize. See if you can close Facebook if there's any Facebook tab open. Minimize. See if you can close Facebook if there's any Facebook tab open. Minimize. See if you can close Facebook if there's any Facebook tab open. Minimize. Maybe try just closing everything out, and then once everything is closed out, join back and click the link again. Everything out. So it's just the Zoom open it. Does that make sense?
There we go. Yeah, she'll try one more time here. Let's see. X on the tab. Nathan said he loved the stew.
Sheldon's comment made me want to burst out laughing.
Yeah, being dead is pretty rough.
Yeah.
Goodness. Okay, we will bring Darlene back in a second, but just so again, at the end of the day, the summer was awesome, and but it's even more awesome to be back here with everyone tonight. Here's Darlene. We're going to try this again.
Okay, I think I did it now.
I think you did it.
Okay.
There you
Oh,
go.
we got it. Let's go. Nice.
So Darlene, we're in the
Sweet.
same club, just so you know. I don't know if you saw
Yeah.
the beginning of the episode, but it took me 6 minutes to figure it out that it was me. I actually just
The whole intro of our show was literally that.
So it's still sunny there. Look at that.
Well, it's still daylight. It's still daylight in Saskatchewan. It's been a beautiful autumn. I was already cruising out in the country and getting vegetables and watching the crazy people getting pumpkins because I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry about pumpkins, you know, getting them and doing all that stuff with pumpkins. So today's been a good day, and I am very grateful for the opportunity on bringing, you know, the 6 students that we brought to Ottawa. The students send their regards. They're actually working and doing sports. Otherwise, they would have been here and been able to share their experience. But one thing I will say is when I first started, I started with 6 kids who didn't know each other. And by the time I got back, they all had changed. And I watched them transform by the workshops and everything that they were doing and learning in Ottawa, and having Grandma Kate and the elders and everybody that was there help them grow and help them believe that they could achieve. And for me, that was, I'm so humbled by that experience that they got to have. And thank you for that. The highlight for my kids was the limo trip. They'd never been in a limo. Some of them had never been in a
Nice.
limo. And so for them, that was a highlight. It was okay, the limo, and you know, also just all the learning that they did. They felt so strong by the time that they came back. And that to me speaks volumes when we can gather youth and they lead and they are listened to and they are respected and their voices are what we celebrate. Their dreams. That's why we're doing the work. We wouldn't be doing the work that we do if we didn't want to challenge that energy and make it a good place for you. So thank you for that.
Well, it was awesome. It was so amazing. That weekend and all of those weekends this summer were just absolute moments of courage, and like to be able to see the courage in those young people, to be able to see their the capacity they had to be able to share and talk and be brave. Like the whole thing was absolutely a delight to watch. It was it really was. And the reality is that, like that limo ride, for example, it was just so folks can sort of get an idea, is that ironically it was the cheapest option to shuttle folks around this vehicle.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was the cheapest way to shuttle folks around. It was cheaper than a shuttle bus. And so
That's awesome.
for all the events throughout the summer, that was how young people rode. And
That's deadly.
and it really was. It was awesome. And you know who else? You know who else loved it? Bernard and Kate, who also said they had never been in a limousine before.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
And so the smiles weren't just with young people. It was like it was, those smiles were everywhere. It was like, look at these, like there you go, right?
Just loving it. That's
just
awesome.
loving it. So Darlene, the young people, you'll remember, they worked with Zoe and the team, and they created a song. They wrote a song. They then shot a video for it to go with that song. Would you like to see the video?
I have been waiting. That song, I was sharing people, but I told them that I couldn't tell them about the song, like the words, because I was waiting for this moment. And it's such a powerful song. I can hardly wait to see what happens here, because I was so proud of them, you know, and how they all worked, and it's such a powerful song. So yes, I can hardly wait.
Well, here's the premiere of, my friends, of Every Child Matters. And the whole team that worked on it, Omar, Zoe, Andrew, Ayanna, and the team that supported them, folks like myself who aren't musically inclined, supported that process. The adult allies from Saskatoon, from Vancouver, from Surrey, particularly from Winnipeg, and all of those students. This is the magic that they created. Here we go. World premiere, folks.
It has revived us. We're survivors who keep pride inside of us. Seeking truth that they hide from us. Seek the truth that they hide from us. Your orange shirt has revived us. We're survivors who keep pride inside of us. Seeking truth that they hide from us. Seek the truth that they hide from us. It's because of them we're here today, guided to their footprints that led the way. Spread our stories along the way. Listen up, we're here for what they have to say. Break their chains, break our cycles, let's make them proud. Breaking free, time to be the leaders now. They took our children, our babies, offered no ifs, ands, or maybes. The orange shirt has revived us. We're survivors with deep pride inside of us. Seeking truth that they hide from us. Seek the truth that they hide from us. The orange shirt has revived us. We're survivors with deep pride inside of us. Seeking truth that they hide from us. Seek the truth that they hide from us. We finished school for the people who couldn't. We showed the system who said that we wouldn't. Keep our nations in power while steady climbing their ladders. Show the people in power that every child matters. Keep our nations in power while steady climbing their ladders. Show the people in power. Every child matters. The orange shirt has revived us. We're survivors with deep pride inside of us. Seeking truth that they hide from us. Seek the truth that they hide from us. The orange shirt has revived us. We're survivors with deep pride inside of us. Seeking truth that they hide from us. Seek the truth that they hide from us. Keep our nations in power while steady climbing their ladders. Show the people in power. Every child matters.
Darlene. And I trust your judgment because you are a truth teller and have been your entire life. So immediate response.
Beautiful. It still takes away my breath. Those words are so powerful. You know, when being in that group and when we were there, and when I was talking to them about breaking those chains, about reaching those ceilings, you know, I didn't expect some of the stuff that I had said to kind of come back, because I kind of went off the map there for a moment when I was in that circle. And that's partially because I truly believe the ancestors speak to us, you know. Then all of a sudden I go, and all I could think about was our deceased mom and her number, and what Canada never did for any of the residential school survivors, their dreams. They weren't allowed to dream. They weren't allowed to get educated. And when you're that first generation, which is what I am, of being able to get a high school graduation, be that first generation to go to university, those were the dreams that people had. And to be in that room with those young people, you know they're going to make it. You know they're going to survive. They're going to thrive. They're going to succeed, and they're going to knock out more ceilings than what we saw them doing. And to be giving them that space to create, it's life changing, and it is life changing for the youth. And so again, very beautiful. The words still resonate with me, and now I can actually release these lyrics to other people, saying, okay, this is what we did, and here it is. Because I think, you know, for our people, it's so powerful, and that those lyrics are so powerful on breaking our cycles. And, you know, they didn't expect our young people to keep going, and they are. And thank you for the opportunity for our 6 graduates who came with us to Ottawa, and they're all thriving and believing they can do that. And so to me, it is, you know, making our people proud, breaking those cycles, and striving to be bigger and better than what we can all believe that we could be. So again, thank you. And it was a really good video and an awesome experience. So thank you.
Awesome, thank you. We finished school for the people who couldn't. We showed the systems who said we wouldn't. Like, it just sits with you. Brennan, thoughts?
Man, yeah, I like what you just said about like you know, our ancestors, those children, they weren't allowed to dream because they were surviving. Like it's really cool. I was thinking about that last night, and after, you know, watching Res Dogs, and you know, that show always gets me in the feels. But like it was cool. Like I was driving yesterday on the Res, and I was like, oh shit, that kid looks just like Bear. And then I was driving, and in that moment I was like, man, I never experienced that growing up. Like never once in my life as a child did I look at a kid on the Res and be like, oh, that looks like so and so from TV or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just like I kind of like, I don't know, it just made me sit back and like kind of really look at like, wow, like we are in such different times, like, and not even talking about society, history, whatever, but just in the sense that like the kids growing up in or around community today, like they have so much room to dream, and like so much reference points of like just, you know, amazing goals and accomplishments and people. And like it's just, yeah, like it's cool. And then like you saying like they didn't think our kids would keep going, but they did. Like so powerful. And it's true, like you see it, like we just saw right just now, right? So you know, it's cool. It's because, yeah, I mean I could go on it all day, but like it's just at the end of the day it's really cool because it's always, you always get hopeless about the future and stuff, and then yeah, seeing stuff like that, it's just like, oh yeah, no, kind of puts you back in check.
It does. And we have another special guest who's going to join us here from Winnipeg. Tracy is joining us, and I think if I click this button, we're going to have 2 more guests join us. as well. And at first I was like, oh, Simon logged in. And then I remembered that it is Jimmy D and grandmother Kate. So Tracy, can you hear us, Tracy? There's Tracy.
Hey,
Hey,
Oh,
Sorry.
hello.
I forgot. I thought it was 7 o'clock here, and I just looked at the clock. I'm like, oh no, I'm an hour late. I'm sorry.
I've done that before. Don't even sweat it.
did you get a chance to see the video, Tracy?
I did see it a couple weeks ago, and I did see it. So it's really awesome. So proud of Denise.
So that was the first one. And the second one just got released on YouTube just now, just at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
With the actual motion pictures that Denise shot for us, right? And so, friends, this is our good friend Tracy from CEDA Pathways in Winnipeg, who also joined us in Ottawa with Darlene. And Tracy, you brought a group of students as well, of graduates, and so we're so grateful to the two of you for doing that, for bringing those folks. Do you have any sort of reflections on the song that the young people created?
It means a lot to me having my mother was in residential school, and them, wanting to learn more and pass along the culture to their family, because a lot of our students don't know a lot about our past history because it was like stripped away from us, as for myself as well. So being able to look back and know what happened and learn about it, I think it's very important that they can pass this on to their siblings, to their family members who don't know. So it's very powerful. It was very moving. And when I did see when I seen it, I cried because it was just so empowering. And for these 11 students to become instant best friends just over the weekend was just amazing, the connection that they have.
It
So
was magic to watch, without a doubt. And the bravery, and again, I just keep going back to the courage we saw all summer from all these pathway students, and not only those that were at the event in June, but the events in July and August, those students who took part in the interviews, the visiting and sharing sessions, the students who came to the virtual events, the students who did the digital interactive components, who shared their own stories and experiences to help strengthen a program that collectively they love. And it doesn't mean that there can't be spaces to strengthen anything, but the listening to the students that you had there, these graduates, it was wonderful and amazing to be able to hear them talk about the experiences with folks like yourselves, the each of you and the other staff at your programs. At the event, and Kimmy D and Kate, do you want to join us? Can you join us? I don't know if you can turn your, let's see. Oh, there we go.
Oh, they're blurred out.
They're blurred out. Grandma Kate's all blurred out. So, there we go. There we go. And we're gonna have one more friend of ours join us as well here. And so I want you all to meet. And so Darlene and Tracy, obviously both of you know Kimmy D and grandmother Kate. This is our other friend Ash, who is are you in a vehicle, Ash?
I am in a vehicle.
Okay.
I am currently at an event, but I stepped outside to be here and to watch the live stream. So I actually have to go at 8:30, but I am here and happy to participate and be a member of this circle.
Awesome. Well, thank you. So Ash, just so you know, you're not the first person to take part in Come Walk With Us from a car. We had Quinn. In fact, Zoe can't be with us tonight because Zoe's with our very good friend Quinn.
Oh, nice.
And Quinn joined us from the north one time, and he was out at a language camp and had to drive like 45 minutes to get service at the top of a hill, and he joined us as well from a car as well. So Kate, that was the first time you saw the video?
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, it made me very emotional. It brought back lots of memories, and connections that I made, especially with that little girl that whose hair I was braiding. She was just a lovely little girl, yeah. It was very wonderful, thank you.
And Kimmy D, what are your thoughts?
It was really powerful. I've seen it a couple of times, and that's just the perk of hanging out with you lots. But the final piece is really, really powerful. Hearing their voices, they don't generally we don't allow young people to have a creative space like that and be able to make something of their own and then see the full result of it. And it's a very powerful song, and I'm just really glad to be a part of and see the pieces like this come through the work that Three Things does with all of the other partners and all the other people. And it's just really powerful. Really, really wonderful.
Well, it really was, and it was a wonderful privilege to be able to walk with those young people, walk with the team from Winnipeg, from Saskatoon, from Surrey. I want to acknowledge that we really are grateful for the support of Pathways Canada for this, the entire project we did, the opportunity to meet hundreds of students from across the country. But also acknowledging the Elder Bernard Nelson, who is couldn't be with us tonight because he's in Saint Jean supporting Indigenous military students. But I also want to just acknowledge Omar Obeats, who mixed and mastered that song. He produced the song. Cool. Zoe Roy, again, who quarterbacked it in a beautiful way, in the gifted way she does. And the video was produced by Glasgow Photography and Video. And we're really grateful that they were able to do that for us. It was the entire sort of process is just a reminder that when we come together and lift young people up and lift up their voices, I'm hoping people tonight, you'll go to our YouTube channel and share this video with folks. Make sure that people hear these words. That's the next step of this, is as adults, we have a role and responsibility to lift up the voices of young people. It's one thing just to sort of get them to talk and share, but it's now our job, and everyone at home, it's your job to lift these voices up. So be sure to click share and make sure that people in your networks, in your circles, take the 4 minutes and listen to these voices because they matter so significantly. I'm wondering if Darlene and Tracy, so we had 300 plus engagements with students throughout the summer. And in a number of the activities, the visiting and sharing, the virtual gatherings, and the digital interactive, by participating, students had the opportunity to win some prizes. And are you open to sticking around while we do some quick draws? Yeah?
I thought you were going to say trivia. I was like,
Oh,
no. Starting to get stressed.
I do love trivia here. But so we have 2 prizes that young people get to choose from. A Meta Oculus
Top of the line.
Meta Quest, not Meta. Meta Quest Oculus. This stuff is fun. We tested it first, and it's really not this very one. This is but one of these, and they're so much fun. And so the winners can choose either that or a Tab S6 Lite. And so we're going to do some quick draws, if that's all right. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to do the first draw is, let's come over here. We're going to do the virtual gatherings. And so we're going to click share our screen here. And thank goodness we're recording this, because I don't have Simon to remember who won. So we're going to click the wheel. Tell someone, so Tracy, give me a countdown and tell me when to hit click.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, the excitement.
Ooh.
Oh, so close, Nathan. Nathan is watching.
Oh,
Kira for the win. Nathan, that was so
Oh.
close. Is Nathan still with us there?
yeah. I think so.
Are you still there with us, Nathan? Yeah,
That's in chat
okay.
for Nathan.
Thankfully, I think Nathan's on a couple of these lists. So Shakira, I'm going to take a screenshot of this so I don't, oh, I just lost it.
Oh no, it even restarted.
Oh, I don't want to do that. No, hold on. Shakira, though. We've got Shakira for the first one. I'll write it down. I won't try to screenshot it. So Shakira is the first winner, and Shakira's gonna get a choice. Okay, and now we're gonna do the that was the virtual gathering. Now we're gonna do the visiting and sharing. And so let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go over here again. Okay, we're gonna go like this. We're gonna change these names. Here we go. We're gonna shuffle those. Okay. And you'll see here there were more people involved in this activity. And so there's more names on the board. And here we go. Darlene, can you give us a countdown? And
3, 2, 1, hit it.
oh, Sanula.
Nice.
Sanula. So we're gonna write down this name before I muck it up again. So, and H. Okay, excellent. There we go. There's our second winner. And then we're gonna do one more draw. And this one, folks who did this one, they had a chance to get multiple entries depending on how many activities they participated in. Excuse me, how many questions they answered. And so here we go. Oh my goodness, there's so many names. There's pages and pages of names, just so you know, for this one. This is a big one. Much thanks to Simonic for getting these all set up like this for us. So it's easy to do. Here we go. We're going to go back to our wheel. We're going to close that.
Wow.
Delete that. And we're going to go like this. We're going to hit shuffle. Oh my goodness. Look at this. I don't even know how we're going to see this. There are so many names on here now.
Oh no.
I don't even know what this other spot is here. This I don't even know what that big blank spot is, but there we go. So we're gonna give it a shot. There we go.
That's funny.
Okay, Grandma Kate, sleepy Grandma Kate. Can you give us a countdown? Oh yeah, can you give us oh wait, where is the spin button?
Now, where is,
Oh, there we go.
okay.
It's off. I don't
3,
even
2,
know how.
1, go. It's done going.
It's on blue.
Takara D for the
Deadly.
win. Takara D for the win. And
Takara.
let's see here. I'm gonna write this down. Takara D for the win. And here's a quick question. I see that. So Nathan, you're here, eh, Nathan? Nathan, are you still watching? I'm trying to get to the comments. Sorry, here we go.
Yep.
Nathan and oh yeah. So there's Nathan. And I saw Victor was watching. Is Victor still watching? If there's other students who are watching, make sure you comment in the chat in the next minute or so. And in fact, Nathan's cousin, I think, won the last one. And Nathan, you are here. And so just for joining us tonight, Nathan, you are going to get a $50 Amazon gift card.
Dang.
Yes, thank you for joining us, Nathan.
Woo-hoo.
And we
Awesome.
have, and now we have 4 last prizes to give away. So we're going to go back to that big wheel. Okay. We're going to spin this one more time. So give us a countdown, Kate.
Okay. Now, 3, 2, 1. Where's the thing?
I
I
can't
don't
see
see
it.
So Tavian, this is what Tavian has won here. Oh, you
You're
didn't-
not sharing the
Oh, I didn't
screen.
share the screen.
Can't tell if you rigged it or not.
Oh, here we go. Here's the rigged screen right here. Tavian is, there you go, Tavian. Tavian, you are gonna win. Where did it go? Goodness. Tavian is gonna win. We're gonna stop sharing this screen now. We're gonna go over here. Tavian, you're gonna win. You've won a, where is it here? There we go. Tavian wins a gift bag filled with fun and useful tools from three.
Oh, that sticker's sick.
All of our different vendors, Indigenous businesses,
Oh, the Bannock.
creatives,
That's cool.
Indigenous face masks, Native Renaissance from Tananega, this fantastic artist whose name is not coming to me right here with the Yoda.
I love that.
So we're going to give, now, not every bag is the same, and we'll have everything in that picture. There's our disclaimer. Hey, Ash, can you give us a countdown to do another one?
You gonna share the screen first?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, we're gonna give away, here we go. Here's the weird screen again.
3, 2, 1, go.
Rika.
Oh,
Rika for the win. Okay, we're gonna do one more. Kimmy D, can you give us a countdown by chance? We're gonna do this.
Sure can.
Okay,
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
there we go. And here's the last one, the last winner. And Faith A for the win. So there we go. These bags have a value of around $75, and we're just so grateful that Faith, and there was a V on there, right? Faith A. So there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your help tonight. Tracy and Darlene, I invite you to stick around because we're going to hear a little bit. We're really grateful that Ash and Kate and Kim have come and joined us today. Right now, across from City Hall in Kingston, there's a sacred fire that's lit. And that sacred fire we've talked about on this program before was lit originally in May 2021, recognizing and acknowledging the recovery of the bodies of the children who were found in Kamloops, British Columbia, what's now known as British Columbia. And that original fire was lit for 9 days to represent the 215 hours or 215 children or graves that were discovered. And since that time, the community's come together to light that fire every month since. And that first week, that first 9 days, much like in other communities across the country, people came and put children's shoes on the steps of City Hall. And the imagery from that is incredibly powerful, like it was in other spaces and places. And Indigenous and non-Indigenous alike wanting to do something and not knowing what else to do. And those shoes were cared for by this collective, these three and many others, in this good way. And you weren't always certain what you were going to do with the shoes. Is that correct? And so Ash, grandmother Kate, and Kimmy D, you took a powerful trip this summer in August. And Kimmy, can you maybe share a little bit about what that was? What did the three of you do in August, with the support of many others in the community, of course?
So, like you said, we weren't really sure as a community what we were going to do or what to do with the shoes. They'd been in ceremony for those 9 days, and people told many stories about their experiences in residential school, and a lot of things transpired over those 9 days. So we bundled up the shoes because we weren't sure what to do. So we bundled them in cloth and cedar, and we put them in bins, and we held on to them and for a year. We held on to them for a year, and we were still trying to figure out what is the best way to handle these shoes that have been in ceremony, and that stories have been told, like I said, and many tears were shed, and people were healing and grieving, and with the news of the 215, plus the subsequent other communities, and so what we did is we were just trying to figure out what to do. So what I did was I called the nation, and their language and culture department was looking after the findings of the missing, they call them, and so I called the nation and I said, this is what we've been doing here in Kingston, and what they came back with right away was like, that's really beautiful and really powerful, and if you want to bring the shoes out here, we can accept those bundles of shoes, and we'll transfer the bundles and in ceremony, and so that's what we did. We got together and we planned out through several meetings. We planned out how we were going to bring the shoes out west, and so what we did was with the help of many people in the community and the fundraising that we did, we were able to, Ash, myself, and Grandma Kate were able to take those. There was 10 hockey bags that were over 400 pairs of shoes, filled 10 hockey bags, and we took those 10 hockey bags out to Kamloops, and we met with the nation there. And it was just a really powerful experience, just taking the shoes out of the bundles that we had and rebundling them with fresh cedar and fresh medicine, and pieces of messages from people, messages from people in the community that we pulled aside so that way we could present them to the community, messages of love and that we're thinking of you, and really powerful messages like that. So we pulled a couple of things from the bins because we thought that the community would really want to read those messages. And Air Canada flew them out thanks to three things, and Peter's connections and support with that. Air Canada flew them out free of charge. And so different people helped us raise some funds for the three of us to go out there. And so that's what we did. And we were welcomed in ceremony by the community really beautifully. And yeah, it was just a really powerful trip. We were there for 5 days, 2 days travel time. We were there with the community for 3 days. And that maybe share what happened. So that's what we did. But I'll let Grandma Kate share some of the story.
Maybe I'll ask Ash quickly, because I do know you, you have to leave Ash at 8:30. And so part of the beauty of this story is, and not just the shoes and the travel and the returning of those shoes, but the work that's being done across the country, the raised consciousness that's occurred, is that Indigenous folks and non-Indigenous folks have been coming together to learn together and share together and to heal together. And as an ally, what has that experience, what was that experience like for you to travel and carry that responsibility for that bundle to the West?
Oh, that's a good question. It was incredibly humbling, and I learned a lot about myself on that trip, as well as, different practices and teachings, and, they taught us some words of their language, which was beautiful. And I got to experience, a culture that is not my own, but is incredibly beautiful and special. And they welcomed me with open arms, like I was, one of them, and like I was family. And something that I've really taken away from the trip is that those bundles of shoes represent more than just the 215. They represent every child everywhere in the entire world that has ever been made to feel less than, that has ever been made to feel like they are not important, because every child matters. And it is so incredibly important that we continue to spread that message, because not I myself growing up, I was very blessed. I had a very good childhood. I have amazing parents, but I know people who did not have that same experience, and people who have trauma, people who have PTSD, and it's I never want another child to have to live through that. And no matter their nation, no matter their skin color, no matter their gender, sexual orientation, it doesn't matter. Every child should have the opportunity to succeed and excel in their life. And all I know is that being on that trip made me realize that I would fight tooth and nail to protect children and make sure that nothing like that ever happens again.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
And I apologize for getting to this segment near the time you have to go. Brandon and I aren't really good with watches. But
It's okay. Enjoyed watching, so I was here the whole time.
excellent. So but thank you so much for being here and for being part of this process, and a significant part.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're really grateful and appreciative.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful to talk to you both. And good luck with the rest of your show. I love you all. Mwah, mwah. I will talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Multis.
So Brandon, do you have any questions for Grandma Kate, maybe?
How you been? It's been a minute. Yeah, just I don't know, just like, how do you take care of yourself doing this kind of work? Like, especially in like with how the world is now, like how do you keep taking care of yourself? Like, how did you show up here today to be able to sit in front of us and smile and laugh and share and be vulnerable and open and go home and sleep and take care of yourself and then do it all again tomorrow? Like, how?
Well, first of all, it's important to know who you are. And it's important to understand how important you are to yourself first, and then to your community. And I, like was said before, I listen to the ancestors when they speak to me. I'm listening. I am present. So I try to stay present in everything that I do. I'm a little bit tired right now because I was up at 5 o'clock this morning making lots of fried bread for the celebration of life today. So, but it was so important to me because it was her favorite fried bread, apparently. And so knowing that so many people are going to be enjoying it, that's what motivates me. The fact that I'm going to make so many other people happy too motivates me a great deal. And of course, it's all about the peace and the love that I'm sharing with the food, with my presence, with the love that I like to share with everyone. And yeah, that's the way.
That's perfect, Malala. So being present and sharing the love. I appreciate that you said being present, but also you also mentioned like the future and thinking of like the results and like causes of actions, and like you're being present, but you're being so present that you're able to see how things might unfold, and that's how I see it. And then you're able to keep going with it. I don't know. That's well, Alan, thank you. It's a beautiful answer.
Yeah.
And can I ask you, Grandma Kate, when you visited British Columbia in an overwhelmingly difficult story, like one that is personal for all of us on the screen in so many different ways, but as I heard the stories when you returned, even with all of that challenge, it certainly sounded like it was a love-driven experience that you received. What was that like? What was that experience like?
Well, arriving on the territory, you know, they for that first circle, it was so there were community members, there was you know, leadership people there and elders there, and there was also they had a counselor there from their cultural department, because he had to create this whole cultural department just to address people coming and asking about the site where the children were recovered. And so he had to create this whole new department. This counselor, this beautiful, loving counselor, she had these eagle wings with her, and so she went all over our bodies with everyone with these beautiful eagle wings. And when she was doing it, you could feel the love coming from her, and it was very, very cleansing and loving act to do, which reinforces the fact that, you know, all of our cultures are so deep and loving, and makes me wonder how you know, non-Indigenous people didn't see that when they came. And so, you know, yeah, reinforce the fact that all of our cultures are so very important, and that we need to keep learning about all of them, as many as you can. But this loving woman, Rona touched my heart when she did this. And she told us the reason why she did it, because before we entered the site of the recovered children, she wanted to make sure that none of us were going to carry anything in to that site. You know, and before we left, she did the same thing to us, so that we didn't carry anything away from that site as well. So that beautiful wraparound care was just touched my heart so much, and told me so many things, that there's so many ways to show love, and that was one of the many ways that we show love to each other and treat each other like family from the get-go.
Oh, and the rose water.
Yeah.
And they sprayed us down with that.
Yeah, they sprayed us down with some rose water. They gave us the history of, you know, this land, and that, you know, the 215 children recovered only from what, like 2 acres?
2 acres
And-
were,
Yeah.
2 acres were checked.
Were
and
checked.
there's
280 acres that have not been checked yet.
That
And-
school as well is the largest school in Canada. There is over, like, that school can house 500 children at any time. And it opened in 1890 and it closed in 1978. There's a lot of children that went through that
Mhm.
space. And what's interesting too is that a very small percentage of the children that of the missing, a very small percentage were from that actual district. There's like 7 districts of the Shuswap Nation. It was kind of there's different reserves, and very few went to that. Were actually from to Kamloops. A lot of them came from all over the place within that nation and within that space, even down into the States. They were saying so, like, so of the ones that were recovered, so it's just really interesting, like, how far those children had to travel, and we know that with the history of residential schools that children were had to travel far. And they have a memorial that was set up outside of the school that one of the community members, when they received their residential school fund, they put that towards that memorial. And so all of the names of all the children and the families are on that memorial. So like there's lots of different ways that they, when we talk about, when you were asking Grandma Kate about the love, they didn't have time to, because everything happened so quickly. They just worked from love because people were coming there right away as soon as the ground penetrating radar, the information came out, and they people just kept showing up there right away because they wanted to see, they wanted to be there, they wanted to offer their whatever condolences, whatever, and grieve with them, and so the nation themselves, they just like went straight into care mode, right? Like they said they had to just start taking care of it and taking care of people kind of that came there, because it's pretty intense. So yeah, they just showed so much love, right? Yeah.
And it's a demonstration of that they also took care of themselves.
Yeah.
Because they have been through so much, layers and layers of trauma, and yet they still remain this beautiful, loving, and caring people. And so love just exudes from them, and that's what told me. I could see that they are taking care of themselves because you could feel nothing but love coming from them. Yeah. And that's how you know somebody's taking care of themselves, because it's not there if they're not taking care of themselves.
I think about this experience that you shared with your new relations in British Columbia, and Tracy, I'm thinking, and Darlene, I'm thinking now about these young people, right, that we had the privilege to spend time with this summer in June, and I just think about that connection, or Brennan, the young people that you're working with throughout the Maritimes, these opportunities for young people to understand the significance of how much they matter in this world. And so in the work that you all do, and Darlene, maybe I will start with you if that's all right, and then we'll go to Brennan and Tracy. How do we make sure young people know that they matter? Because from where I sit, when you know you matter, you then take care of yourself like that, right? And when you get older and you're in these leadership roles, you ensure that those around you are doing the same thing, right? Like so what's an example that in your experience that's worked, Darlene, to help ensure that young people in your life know that they matter?
I know for us, it's when I first started with Pathways, honestly, I thought I was too old for the job. I thought they should actually have somebody in their 30s, 40s leading it, not old girl like me in 60s. I thought, okay, I'm going to be out of sync with all of this, right? But it's giving them that place and space to, first of all, be safe. And many of us have never had that place where we ever were safe. And so we can see that in their eyes. We can see that when we're working with them. We can see right away exactly where they're at that moment. And to me, creating that safe place, then it gives them time to debrief, to desynthesize things that are going around. I live in an urban center, and when your students tell you that they're so used to the guns that it doesn't bother them anymore, you know that they're not safe. You know that many of our kids here in Saskatoon have never been outside to play. They can't, right? So in our program, to me, was creating that safety, because then once you can do that, then you can dream, right? Once you understand this, and many people don't understand creating that safe place for kids, because many people don't know how to even play with their kids. Think about that for a moment. One of my first jobs with the tribal council was, it was called hippie, and everybody always laughs about that, but it was called homeschool instruction for parent and preschool youngsters, and it was a literacy program with a component of playing, right? And one of the things we do in Pathways is we play a lot, and through that playing, we help them heal. Whether that's a crib game or a chess game or putting together a puzzle, there's different things that we have that we do, but it's their learning. And when you can create that safe place for learning, like we do in Pathways, where our tutors or student parent support workers, our students feel like they're in a family. And once you create that, then they actually, I had to, for the very first time, Grandma Kate, you would have been impressed with me. I actually lost my temper, and I had to stay real cool and focused. And the kids have never seen me angry till last week. And what ended up happening was a kid actually created an incident in one of our schools with burning a piece of paper on fire, which was like, I'm like this, right? And then when the kids saw me go, and then they came back the next day, you know what they said to me is that, you make sure that we're safe. We've never seen you mad ever. And you went mad because you felt that we weren't safe. And the very first thing you always tell us is that we need to be safe. I joke around with them, danger, stranger. Don't go in it with any strangers. There's danger, right? But in education, we have never been able to create spaces for our kids. Pathways to Education has given us that opportunity to create that. In our site, we're 100% Indigenous in Saskatoon, which we are. So we can give them, when we first started smudging with the kids, Grandma Kate, so many of them didn't even know what that meant, and how can I really pray? Like, Darlene, does this praying really help? I keep praying. And I'm going, yeah, well, it's not an instant gratitude. It's not like McDonald's that you get something at the end. And sometimes we have to pray for a long time before we see something happen, right? But it's praying for that strength and that courage. And that to me is one of the things that we've been able to do in our program, is give our students that courage, that strength, and that space. After that, those things, they grow on their own, and they go so fast that they're going, okay, I'm going to be a rocket scientist now. I'm going, yeah, you go for it, and it's creating that space. But it's also being realistic, and to me, when we can create an opportunity like you gave us, and taking these kids, you change their reality. Okay. Like, our kids now actually believe from the Ottawa group that they can go to university in Ottawa now. All of a sudden, Ottawa became something on their list of, I'm going to dream to go far, right? But it's not until you give them that experience that they dream that they can go far. So to me, it's creating that safe place. And Grandma Kate, when we were with you, I just wanted to never leave your side, because that safety, you feel it around you and Bernard, you felt that. And you felt that in that circle. And that to me is why those kids gravitated the way that they did, because they felt safe. They felt safe in that space, and they felt that they were being respected. And to me, that is really the power. And you gave that power in that circle. And I was so grateful for that. And I can hardly wait till I can come back to Ontario and come and see you in Kingston. I have a buddy that lives there. So I keep going, I'm going to come there. But thank you, because your heart spoke volumes. And because of that, It's from people like Kate that I have elders here that I've learned those things. And it's from our elders that I brought that into our programming. And I'll just stop there, but that's kind of how I look at it. Thank you. And Grandma Kate, I love you lots.
Yeah, well, I love you too.
Thank you so much for that. And maybe Tracy, we're gonna go to Brennan first, but we'll come back to Brennan. Tracy, what about yourself? How do you work to make sure that the students who are in your life or young people in your life know that they matter?
For myself, coming into this, I came in as a parent first for the first 2 years of Pathways to Education program for my son. And I thought, wow, this is an amazing program. They can do so much for your students, like for your child, giving them that, building those relationships with them, teaching them cultural things, like then coming on as an employee. And it's just like, I learned that you never, ever tell a lie, never lie to these students, because they can read you like a book. And if you lie, they'll read you and they'll never trust you again. So you have to build those strong relationships with them. Tell them whatever we try to get to know them as like, you tell me something about you and I'll tell you something about me. And I never lie. And I tell them about my past history growing up and, how I grew up in the North End, just where we are now, where I work. And giving back. I wanted to give back. So, learning again about my culture, how we do smudging, and we have sharing circles, and we go take them to sweat lodges. We have pipe ceremonies, medicine picking, medicine bundling, and we incorporate that into our program. So giving back that way, just a little bit, so they can pass on a little bit of that knowledge that they never had and they didn't know about. So just being there, being in the moment, and having those strong relationships, feeding them, giving them a safe space. Because in Winnipeg here in the inner city, it's very dangerous, just to walk down, like Darlene said, you can't play outside, you can't go for a walk without being, I'd looked up, and, even by the police here, being, just it's horrible just for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. My son was always, who would be riding his bike coming home, and the police would stop and was like, oh yeah, you fit the description of somebody who just robbed the store. And he's like, I'm just riding my bike home. Like, why? It's horrible. And then we're here, our Indigenous youth are go against each other, and I don't understand. We need to learn to love each other and have each other's back. So that's what I'm trying to do. And by, just having my phone on 24/7, doesn't matter. Phone me at 3 a.m, phone me at 5. I will answer you back. I will get back to you. So just being their auntie or their cookum or their extra mom or their big sister, then that's, it's about giving back for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tracy. It's an interesting conversation because the reason I ask these questions is I'm thinking about the experience Kate and Kim and Ash had this summer, and that opportunity and the importance. Brennan, we first met Brennan when he was how old would you have been?
21.
20? No, you weren't 20.
No, 20.
20 maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
And so you two might not know this, but Brennan was one of 45 young people selected out of applications from across the country, 45 Indigenous young people, First Nation, Métis, Inuit youth who sailed across the ocean from Halifax to France, and took part in a leadership program we did in partnership with a number of partners, including Winnipeg, where he now works, and in a leadership development healing cultural program. And so I ask it because I just think about that experience, listening to Ash, Kate, and Kim talk about their travels and the importance of that, and listening to the idea of this safe space and that support. What is it that, Brennan, what is it that you think, why does it matter for young people to have experiences like those connections? And we've done many events together since that first ship trip, the Mississauga, but why does it matter for young people to come together? And that's what you're doing throughout Atlantic Canada, right?
Yeah, can you ask the question again? Why does it matter for what?
Young people to come together, like, and connect and have experiences similar to what Ash, Kate, and Kim had, where experiencing others' cultures or traditions or whatever it might be.
For me, it's just like point of reference. It's like broadening your horizons. It's like what I mentioned earlier about seeing the kid that kind of looked like the kid from Res Dogs. Like that for me, that's a point of reference to where I can in my head look and see this is this this famous actor, native Res kid from wherever. So for me, like meeting people and being exposed to different Indigenous folks, and you're broadening your horizons and you're building your portfolio of reference points. So like you have more examples to refer to when you're dreaming, so that you can tell your brain like this isn't bullshit, like this is someone really did this, you know what I mean? So like this is real. So it's just like building that fact sheet to prove to yourself when you are doubting yourself or anything, like like this is something that I can't this is a fact, this is a real human being, this is a real person, this is a real accomplishment, this is a real thing that occurred, whatever. Just knowing that those things are real for me, it's just always been like just that exposure. It's like that idea of getting out there in the world, and like humans so long ago thought the world was flat and small, and they could only a small handful of human beings on the planet could really dream beyond what they see, and that's a gift, right? So not everybody has that gift or even has the opportunity to try to achieve that gift or whatever, but just at the end of the day, it's just like proving yourself wrong, I guess. That makes sense.
Oh, completely, absolutely. And between starting with Kim's comments on the experience and Ash and Ash's reflections and Kate's reminder of the love driven, and Darlene's talking about that safe space, and then Tracy talking about the challenges that still exist today, and particularly the conflict, the youth on youth sort of stuff that happens in the world. And then listening to Brennan, I now have our new project in my head.
Hey.
Well, because it is essential, I think, that young people, because you nailed it, Brennan, as always. Just so Darlene and Tracy, you didn't get to meet Brennan this summer, but this is why we value Brennan so much. He just nails it in the plainest of English and the most clear way, is that like that point of reference and helping shift that point of reference, and by having those experiences that matter, that are love driven, right? That opportunity, like Kim, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a lot of hurt attached to those shoes, and there was a lot of healing attached to those shoes, both here in Kingston and then as they traveled and as you got there. Is it fair to presume that experience, would you describe it as life-changing?
Oh, yeah, each one of us, and Tamara, the people that we met there, they described it as life-changing too. Because, but yeah, all three of us described it as life-changing. It was so powerful, because you see things and you read them in the media and online, but actually going there and hearing their story, and then seeing that space, and hearing from them how much it meant to them, that this fire is still going because they're still grieving. Like, it's just this back and forth of healing and love and helping. And, I think that's why right away they said, they gave us that opportunity to bring the shoes out there. So it was life-changing for us. And those are the exact words that we said on that trip, right? When we sat there and we thought about it, and it was life-changing for I know for my friend now. I could probably say that for Tamara, like she's like explaining how happy they were to know that people were lighting the fire with them in mind. And yeah, so I don't think she's traveled out here, but we're working on it, and hopefully we're gonna have them come out here to Kingston. That's what we put out there. And so again, it's that's the other piece, right? Like, and you guys see this in your work all the time. You bring young people from one place, and then you do exchanges, right? And that's just what this has turned out to be. And it's just going to be, it's so beautiful. Yeah,
Well,
definitely life-changing.
Well, my brain is on fire now, and it could also be all of the caffeine, but I think I've got some thoughts. I want to quickly just acknowledge that we have some grandmothers watching as well with great wisdom. Georgia shares, after listening, listen, learn, and love. And it's such an important message. And our dear friend Annie St. George is with us tonight, and she said welcome back when she came back. It's so good to see you back as well, Annie. And she says there's a lot, in reference to the police, she says there's a lot of profiling by the cops. We must teach the police how to stop. We're supposed to be in such a free country. I question it. And Nathan did say he's got a few questions after the meeting or before the end. And Nathan, we're going to make sure we get to those questions. Don't you worry. My friends, I think about that song. That song speaks to what this is all about, like what we're talking about, right? And I want to acknowledge the young people who contributed to it in different ways. I want to acknowledge, obviously, grandmother Kate and Bernard, who were there to help guide us and keep us safe, that safe space. Tracy and Darlene as staff at Pathways programs that travel with young people, as well as our friend Pam, Pam, right? The mother, yes? No, not Sam. Sam, mother of Pam. The adults who came and traveled. A shout out to our team who we started Listen Up about 4 weeks before the event, and they just did a fantastic job. And the team around that video and that song, it's just a reminder of the fact that young people aren't. We hear all the time, "You're the future. You're the future." No, they're the now, and or you're the leaders of the future. They're leaders now. And they are the future, though. It's not just that they're the leader, they are the future. And it's a privilege to be in a space with all of you tonight. Others who are in the work you do and also in the way you live your lives are opening those doors and creating space. One of the highlights for me at that fire is when I see young people come out to it. And my heart grows like 10 pounds every time, because our young people need to have these opportunities, this change of perception, right? This change of perspective, and we've seen how it can benefit people. It benefited me. It still does. Brennan, yeah. And so, yeah, absolutely beautiful. What do you think, Brennan? Not a bad way to kickstart our season.
Not a bad way at all.
My God, a powerhouse of champions on the stream and in the chat. It was wonderful to have so many people join us online tonight. Okay, Nathan, what's your question? Tell us your question in the chat, Nathan. And yeah, it is. He's got a couple questions. I'm excited to see what they are. if it's all right with folks, I think what I'd like to do, we normally have like some closing words, Brennan? And so maybe tonight, if there is a word that speaks to how you're feeling today, in this moment, not even just today, but in this moment, how would you describe that? I encourage you at home as well to share a word in the chat with how you're feeling in this moment right now. And maybe we start with you, Darlene. Is there a word that you can think of that describes how you're feeling in the moment?
And humbled and grateful.
Humble and grateful. And Grandmother Kate, what about yourself?
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I'm in there with humility as well.
With
Humility,
humility,
yeah.
Kimmy D?
Oh, I agree too. Very humbled and hopeful.
Humble and hopeful. Tracy?
I also feel humble and I feel passionate. And I want to keep doing this and helping.
Awesome. What about, and before Brennan goes, it's in the chat here. Thank you for once again sharing, such a privilege. Glad to spend a Saturday evening with you all. EJ Lloyd, who I met on National Indigenous Peoples Day in real life, in real person.
Oh, that's cool.
I think I sent you a picture there, I think, Brendan, that day.
Nice.
And Corey's feeling he's got a heavy heart today.
Mhm.
And lots of people do, and we keep our thoughts with them without a doubt. And Nathan, you say, how are you going to get what did TK win? TK gets to choose, Nathan, one of the prizes. And how are you going to get your $50 Amazon gift card? We're going to drop it off to you shortly. In the next week, you'll get it somewhere in the next week. Pat Roebuck is feeling inspired, and the Cookums think we still so sorry, Annie, I'm just reading this. This Cookham thinks we still need to do, it's only starting our mission. It's only starting our mission, totally. Still have lots to do. Yeah, it is only the starting place. What about you, Brennan? What's a word or two that you're feeling?
Oh, full. It was right away as soon as you asked. Was the first
Full?
thing that came up was full. Yeah.
That's funny.
And then
That's funny because my word was hungry, so I'm not.
Yeah, I liked what no pun intended, but I liked what Kimmy said about being hopeful.
And you know what's funny? I was actually I just feel full. I was actually gonna say full, but I didn't know
That's
how I was
cool.
gonna explain that. But I was really
It's funny.
honestly gonna say I feel full of love,
Yeah.
full of hope. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, fully inspired. Yeah.
Like
Love you,
healing.
Dee. It's so nice to see your face. Boop. I just
Yeah, you too. All of you guys.
I think
So good to
Oh,
see
wait,
you
there you go.
guys and everyone in chat and everything.
Kimmy D just booped.
Love it.
And
To say something to you. You
Yeah.
actually would know my boss.
say that one more time.
He would have actually met Shane, right?
Yes, Shane. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Shane is my
So-
boss.
Deadly.
Shane Henry, where you were on the boat with. He's my
Oh,
boss.
what? That's so cool. No
Yeah.
way.
I've been
Yeah.
wanting to say that for a while, that Shane's my boss,
That's cool.
and we were so proud of him when that was before he was the boss, when he all of a sudden said, I'm gonna get on this boat. And then across the Atlantic. And I remember looking at him going, holy frick, you're brave. Get in this boat. And I'm just trying to picture this, because you got to remember I live in the prairies, and we've got a river, not an ocean. And his background in astronomy is just deadly, but I know you would have had a moment to kind of hang out with Shane. So I'll let Shane know that you were on here.
Yeah, every Saturday night he's on here. And
Oh, that's cool.
so very quickly, Nathan, to answer your question again, Nathan's filled with questions. Nathan, and you're welcome every week with all your questions, Nathan, every Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern time. So yeah, you're right. She picks either the Oculus or the tablet, but we'll get in touch with her too over the next week. And there you go. And miigwech to you as well. Annie, it was lovely to have you here. Miss Ellie says, thank you everyone for sharing and giving hope to all. I feel, the way I feel right now is just grateful. Oh, there's Diane. Hi, Diane. Look at that. Everyone, I'd like you to meet my lady friend. This is Diane. Also known as Kate's much younger sister. Kate's much younger sister, Diane. And yes. And Nathan says, okay, Nathan says, also, are there prizes every week or just this week?
Oh man, someday.
Some days there is, Nathan. Sometimes there's prizes every week, but not every week necessarily. But these prizes, Nathan, are specifically for the Listen Up crew. But in other weeks, we give away stuff all the time. But mostly, Nathan, what we do is we give money to charities of our guests' choices or our viewers' choices. So
We usually do that every week too.
pardon me?
So we usually do that every week, like make a donation somewhere.
Somewhere. Yeah, I feel grateful. Like, what a great way to spend a Saturday night. It's been a while. Darlene and Tracy, you might not know this, but we had our 100th episode in the late spring, early summer in June, or maybe I guess it was actually the end of May. The end of May, we had our 100th episode of Come Walk With Us.
Yeah.
And we took
Right
our
at the end.
really long break. And just because we were doing Listen Up events every other week. And so it was wonderful to be back here with you, Brennan. My life is better because you're in it. And
Likewise, brother.
and for each and every one of you on this circle, this is why we do this, is we get to hang out with awesome, brilliant, loving people on Saturday nights. And so what I think we're going to do, if it's all right, Brennan, is I think we're going to play that video again and to close off the show. Is the premiered video. I will just share with you quickly with folks at home. You can find it on our YouTube channel. Where is that? It's right here. This is our YouTube channel here. You can also click the subscribe button. Brennan never has, but you certainly can.
What do you mean? I subscribed on all of my accounts.
How many YouTube accounts do you have, and why do you have them?
I gotta separate the subscriptions. You go down one feed, it's all action figures. You go down the next, it's all hockey analysts. Different accounts for different stuff. Troll different people.
Either way, this is our, let me come back here. This is our YouTube channel. And just so you can see it, you can find us on YouTube. There we go. This is us, Three Things Consulting. This is the latest video that was just released. This is the one just with the pictures we released a little while ago. And there's Darlene right there, right on the center of our YouTube channel. And so
how did you get Chris Hemsworth on here?
Oh, I did that when you were sick that one weekend. That was
That's who filled in.
I was like, hey Chris, this is the weekend to come. Okay, friends, we're gonna close with this video, and but miigwech, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, Diane, for joining us. You look great on my screen, just so you know. You look absolutely beautiful, Diane. And just so Darlene and Tracy, you know, I've been flirting with Diane for 7 years, trying to convince her to be my bride. And I know one day I'm gonna get there. So, friends, this is the Every Child Matters: Voices of Indigenous Pathways to Education Students 2022, and this is their the video from the work that they did this summer. And again, miigwech, be safe, everyone, make healthy choices. Hey, if you're in Ontario, maybe start thinking about wearing a mask. I haven't yet, but I'm certainly thinking about it. I don't know. I shudder to think about it, but I'm starting to think about it. Take care of one another, be kind to one another, and know that you matter to us. And we're so grateful that you're all here tonight. And yeah, it is yeah, and Nathan says bye guys. And Jean says thank you, Jimmy, good for this evening. Great to hear about the trip out west. And Nathan's gonna message us. Have a good night to you as well. Here we go, my friends. Oh, I'm gonna hit share, and we're gonna say goodnight with playing the video a second time. Tracy, you get to see this version now, and our friends who came a little later. Don't forget to go to YouTube, find the video, click share, put it on your page, lift up the voices of young people. It's the very least that we can do as adults to stand alongside them.
Wow, in the multis.
Bum uppy.
Come on, please.
Oh, we're gonna- starting.
It has revived us. We're survivors who keep pride inside of us. Seeking truth that they hide from us. Seek the truth that they hide from us. The orange shirt has revived us. We're survivors who keep pride inside of us. Seeking truth that they hide from us. Seek the truth that they hide from us. It's because of them we're here today, guided to their footprints that led the way. Spread our stories along the way. Listen up, we're here for what they have to say. Break their chains, break our cycles, let's make them proud. Breaking free, time to be the leaders now. They took our children, our babies, offered no ifs, ands, or maybes. The orange shirt has revived us. We're survivors with deep pride inside of us. Seeking truth that they hide from us. Seek the truth that they hide from us. The orange shirt has revived us. We're survivors with deep pride inside of us. Seeking truth that they hide from us. Seek the truth that they hide from us. We finished school for the people who couldn't. We showed the system said that we wouldn't. Keep our nations in power while steady climbing their ladders. Show the people in power that every child matters. Keep our nations in power while steady climbing their ladders. Show the people in power. Every child matters. The orange shirt has revived us. We're survivors with deep pride inside of us. Seeking truth that they hide from us. Seek the truth that they hide from us. The orange shirt has revived us. We're survivors with deep pride inside of us. Seeking truth that they hide from us. Seek the truth that they hide from us. Keep our nations in power while steady climbing their ladders. Show the people in power. Every child matters.
Mama P, everyone. See you next Saturday.
We'll have to see you guys next week.